Hey, it's Mike at Premium Crickets, and let's talk about heating, lighting for the bearded dragon. We have Hoover here, that's our bearded dragon, who gets the best crickets, the best worms, the best of everything. So say hello, Hoover. I was just talking to Robert about UVB, UVA. It gets confusing. Talk about what the differences are between those two. Like UVB is...
They're an ultraviolet light source that's provided naturally by the sun for these guys.
Right.
The cage environment requires a special bulb. There's several manufacturers out there. We use 10.0 Reptisuns. That will pretty much cover the whole cage area for this dragon where he'll be sitting in the cage.
So that's the UVB.
Mm-hmm. Now UVA is just kind of like I'm a happy dragon. It's just a waveform that says, it's a bright day. You know, it's cool.
But there's no benefit to UVA.
Just in their character, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes them more of a happy dragon. UVB, on the other hand, helps them synthesize calcium into vitamin D3, which actually helps them develop their bone structure. It's very important when they're babies to have UVB every day. If you naturally put them outside in the sunlight, 30 minutes a day would be a good thing for these guys. Mm-hmm. You could get enough UVB in 30 minutes in the sun that would be like setting them under a 10.0 UVB bulb for 5 days.
Hmm. So we've got one of those little screen cages, and I'll take Hoover and I'll put him in that screen cage and just put him outside for 30 minutes?
30 minutes. Make sure
that's it.
That he has shade and sun.
Right.
These guys thermoregulate. They'll go from I'm happy in the sun, and I'm happy in the shade. You'll find out that most of the time they'll be in the shade. They'll sun out in the sun, they'll get to a certain body temperature, cold-blooded,
right.
And then they'll go in the shade, and they'll stay there. They'll still get the radiation, they'll still get UVB in the shade. It just won't be as hot and as intense as if they were in direct sunlight.
Okay, so that's really the best form of UVB is the sunlight itself.
Good old Mother Nature.
But even if you're going to do that, would you still have a UVB bulb in your cage, regardless?
Yes, I would definitely recommend having a constant source of UVB in the cage.
Okay. Now you told me the first bulb I bought, the UVB bulb, was this kind of a spiral bulb. Mm-hmm. And you recommended that I don't use that as a UVB source.
Yes, we use just fluorescent strip bulbs.
The longer one.
Yes.
Right.
We've had some problems with the spiral bulbs, and we've had some dragons that I guess they've looked into this bulb and it's affected their eyesight. Okay. So we got rid of every one we had after that. Huh. Huh. And you can read on the net about other people, some of the reptile forums.
So the general consensus is that the fluorescent type bulb is the better one to use over the spiral one.
It's been tried and true for many, many years.
Right. Now you made an interesting comment that if they don't have enough UVB, that you could see their legs starts to shake or something like that.
Without UVB, you cannot synthesize D3, which is a critical vitamin used to develop their bone structure.
So the D3 is what converts calcium into bone.
Basically.
That's it. So you got calcium, you've got D3, and you want it to become bone.
And you have to have
the
radiation,
process.
the UVB, to synthesize this calcium.
Right. So without that D3, and I guess, can you feed them D3 though?
There is a D3 supplementation that you can buy through calcium.
Right.
It'll have D3 on the bottle.
Right.
You can do that as a supplement. I wouldn't per se say, okay, they're getting their D3 and they don't need any UVB.
Right.
Still need the
I know,
supplement.
like Repticalin, they have D3 in it. Actually, a cricket has a little bit of vitamin D3 in it, a small amount. Okay, but you said that if their bones aren't developing right, then
you will start seeing tremors in their legs, and they'll actually get to, and this takes a little bit of time, and they've been without UVB for a while,
Mm-hmm.
they will start more like crawling in their cage. You'll see
Not
them
walking.
start, they'll be down on their bellies, and they'll have problems walking. The biggest thing is the tremors to look for. When it gets to that stage, that's the first signs of metabolic bone disease.
Mm.
It's gone a bit far, but
Mhm.
you can start your supplementation. You can start giving them UVB daily, and I would start doing daily outside then. If it
At
comes
that
to
point,
that point.
if they're
Yes.
crawling along, not
If
walking,
you see tremors,
and they're shaking.
right, I would start doing at least 30 minutes every day outside. Come
Okay.
home from work, you got some sunshine left, put them outside.
All right.
Make sure that they have shade.
Mhm.
If it's a hot day like it's been lately, we missed our dragons outside. We missed our dragons with lukewarm water.
And misting is you just get a water thing just squirted on them,
Mhm.
a fine mist, right?
Right. Because they will get dehydrated.
Okay.
And we pull them after 30 minutes, regardless.
Right. Okay. Now that's the UVB.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's also the heating side of this thing,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got a type of light bulb for me to use. Describe that light bulb to heat the dragon.
Well, we use just a halogen type heat lamp.
That you can buy
You
at
can-
anywhere, right?
Yeah, you can buy at PetSmart, Petco, or you can buy at Home Depot, Lowe's. The main thing is you've got your UVB covered. Now we've got to give them a gradient of heat and cool inside the enclosure.
Right.
So that bulb is basically just to heat their basking area. Their basking area being where they can get, as babies, 100, 105 degrees on their backside,
Mm-hmm.
and then adults varying between 95 and 100 degrees on their backside.
Okay.
So you're providing them a choice between basking and cool in this cage.
Right.
So they'll do it themselves, they'll go between the other. They might be sitting in the middle, whatever makes them
Okay.
feel
And
better.
we're going to show some videos of the cages in other segments. So you have the basking, and they bask in the heat lamp.
Mhm.
And you told me something real interesting. That is the way they digest their food
Right.
has to do with the heat.
With the
So they
basking.
they're going to eat first,
Mhm.
and then they're going to go bask.
Mhm.
And the heat from the basking on their back is what creates the
Digestion.
I didn't know that. So he digests his food, then he goes back under his enclosure.
Yeah. More than likely
Yeah, that's
he'll
right.
eat, he'll digest, and then he'll find him a nice cool place to sit down for the rest of the day.
Okay.
I found that they like around 83 to 86 degrees. They'll sit over there in that part of the cage most of the day.
And then to bask, it should be around 100 and...
For this size dragon,
Yeah.
between 95 and 100 degrees. The babies, they need just a little bit hotter, say about 100, 105.
Okay. All right, so that's the heating, the lighting. All right, babe.